you done to me? As the dark energy flows from inside of me, inside of me. What do you see? Do you see as a twist inside of me? I feel. What do you see? Oh, is it what have you done to me? As the dark energy flows from inside of me, inside of me. What do you see?
If you weren't getting down to that juicy beat, I don't know what's wrong with you. But of course, welcome to our live stream. If you don't know who we are the Cinema Heads, and it is time to get this party started. Let's kick it off with a quick introduction, and we'll start with, this guy to my left.
JP.
And we'll skip over the guy over here.
Gabe.
Of course, I'm Matt. Who are you?
Adrian.
Adrian.
Don't forget.
We also have a special guest appearance from Lilo the dog. And then Adrian, if anybody doesn't know.
Wow.
If you don't know what's going on, we have a bunch of stuff going on today. We are going to actually finish our giveaway, which thank you for subscribing, staying with us. I know that we don't put out as much content as we would definitely like, but thank you for keeping with us. And we finally hit 100 subs, so thank you. Good job.
Yay.
So during that giveaway, we're going to be giving away this lovely pop vinyl over here to my right, which Gabe should be showing us right now.
Yeah.
There it is.
It'll look like this.
Hot Topic exclusive limited edition Deadpool pop vinyl. We're going to try to stay within that
Very
Marvel
nice.
range. So one lucky winner is going to be winning that. So that's pretty awesome. Now, if you don't know what we're doing, we have been talking about on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are going to review Avengers Endgame from start to finish. We're going to try to cover a lot of things that we thought that was wrong with it, a lot of things that we thought were great with it. If you guys have any questions, of course, pop those up in there. We'll try to get to those too, and we'll see how you guys.
Yeah, we gave everyone a week.
Yeah,
about a
and
week.
obviously we're gonna cover everything, so spoilers and all. I'm sure you guys know that, but I want to make sure everybody knows.
Everything.
We purposely waited a week to give everyone a chance to go watch it. And
Everything.
Matt, because Matt just saw it yesterday.
It's not, and that's not just because I don't like going to opening day movies. It's just because I don't like to go to opening day movies. Anyway.
I mean, some people have already seen it 2 times because
Yeah, because they had the day off. Some of us had to work for a living.
Real quick though, there is a delay on the stream, guys, compared to us. So if you guys are asking questions and stuff like that, and we don't get to it right away, we'll bring it up on the side and we'll comment on it. Okay?
Yes, we will get there, guys.
Yes, we will.
Just remember, this is our first time, so hopefully give us
be gentle.
a little bit. No, don't be gentle. Hammer us as hard as Thor's hammering bad guys. Just get in there. Get in there what you got to say. We need to make sure this is the best viewing experience you guys have ever had in your life. It's bigger than the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, all that stuff.
I know we got 5 people watching. How's the sound? Can you guys hear every single person talking?
Nicole, can you hear?
Yes. Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole, can you hear us?
Okay. I'm assuming that's going to be a yes.
We'll have to wait. See.
Sure.
Dang.
Actually, I could probably...
Technical difficulties. Give us 1 second.
Live streaming is
It's weird.
way weirder than I was
Actually,
expecting it to be.
Live stream is real, folks. It's real.
Oh,
Yes.
we're good.
Hey,
thanks, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. MVP.
Appreciate it. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? We've seen the giveaway. We see what's going on. We know what we're doing. So let's get the ball rolling, baby. JP, why don't you start us off with what happens in the beginning?
Well, it starts
That's intense.
It
That's
does
crazy.
with Hawkeye teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Oh my god.
Who has mayonnaise on hot dogs, though? Really? Who does that?
The boys do apparently.
That's
Hawkeye's son.
That's disgusting.
But his family's in the background. They are asking, they're barbecuing, getting ready for something. They're playing baseball in the background.
Right.
He turns around, his daughter shoots bow and arrow. He tells her to go grab the bow and arrow, and he turns around, and his whole family's turned to ash.
Just disappear.
Gone
So
to
this
ash.
movie starts off right where Infinity War ends.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
with that being said, that part right there kind of already hit me. And it started I was like, I don't want to watch this movie because it's going to tug at the heartstrings. It's going to be sad as hell. Anybody else feel that during that scene, or is it just me?
Real quick, I saw it before any of these guys did.
Yes, he did. He saw it
And
opening.
there was,
day.
there was a moment that I wanted to spoil everything for them because I had to wait so long for them to watch it. And I actually said line by line what happens in that whole scene that JP just said. And then I was like, haha, just kidding, blah, blah. But then I was like, but it's going to be funny when you guys see the movie and that's the actual opening scene. And when these two went saw it, I got a text like right after that scene. They said, "Gabe, I hate you." So I did my job. So
It was pretty funny.
It was,
but no, it was like I feel like not watching Captain America or Captain Marvel. Like if you went from Infinity War to this one, the way that happened was like a perfect leadway into. Oh, I guess we're loading. Uh-oh. Well, there you are, Matt.
Hey.
I guess let me see real quick.
Checked him.
Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so like I feel like it was a perfect transition, like straight into this movie. Like, honestly, that could have been an end clip to another movie. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Yeah.
it could have even been like the extra credit scene. Credit scene to a different movie. Yeah.
It could have, yeah, because like it matched perfectly with what Ant-Man did in their end credits.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect transition to this movie.
Yeah, it felt like it was getting you ready for crazy stuff about to happen and maybe covering a backstory of what's going on for Hawkeye. Now I want to jump in this a little early.
Just to finish
Go ahead,
that
sorry.
too, I feel like it started off the tone of the movie for like the first, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes of the film. Like it got you in the right tone for it right off the bat because it was kind of unexpected to see it right away like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it set the tone for the whole beginning of the movie.
I think it's messed up because it says 50% of the population, so right now 2 of us should be gone and 2 of us should be there. His whole family was gone.
Yeah.
He did not get the 50% odds in that one, man. The odds were not in his favor. Adrian, have anything to add to that, brother?
Oh man, it was crazy. It was a good start. It was a good start to the movie. I don't know. I guess like everyone had like their theory about this is how it's gonna start, and I don't think I remember anyone saying that that's how it was gonna start.
Nah.
So
No,
it was good.
It was a good transition. Now, like I said, I want to, since we're starting with Hawkeye, I want to kind of touch base with this first. And it's a little early, but everybody knows Captain Marvel's in this movie. We all know we saw the Captain Marvel movie. Now, do you guys feel that we needed a Captain Marvel movie, or would you rather have a Hawkeye movie?
I personally would rather have a Hawkeye movie.
I mean, I would rather have a Hawkeye movie too, but since the Captain Marvel movie was an origin story and intro to the character, it made sense to have
Yeah,
it.
it
And
did
it's a
make sense to
prequel.
have it.
So,
And yeah, you couldn't really have Captain Marvel movie like in the very beginning.
because you know
Yeah.
Marvel wants to tell that origin story eventually, and I'd rather have them do it in a separate movie than do it in the middle of Infinity War or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Because if you don't have it and she's just in the movie like that, everyone's be like, wait, what?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean they kind of did it with Spider-Man, but it made more sense with Spider-Man because we all know where he started.
Right,
so.
right.
Like if they were going off of a timeline, it would have been Captain America first, and then her movie
Captain
second,
Marvel
her
second,
movie second.
yeah.
And they would have had to made a Captain Marvel like 2 just to keep
Yeah.
her in the loop of everything.
Especially because
happening.
we're familiar with comic books, we know the character, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So
No, it makes sense. I mean, I would rather have Hawkeye, but only if it's gonna be his like Ronin story.
Well, that's what they. I mean, yeah. I feel like that's why I feel like that could have been like a end credit scene to Infinity War, and then instead of having Captain Marvel be the next movie and then Endgame, it could have been that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that was gonna be the case, then they probably would have had to make his part bigger in Endgame.
Right.
So, but then again, Captain Marvel didn't have a big part in Endgame,
Yeah, she didn't really have a big part.
which I guess we'll get to later.
Dang, look how much we already covered in just the beginning. Now, if your mind has not exploded all over your TV screen, I don't know what to tell you, man, if you haven't stayed tuned. Anyway, let's go on. We're going to roll on to what happens next. Adrian, what happens after we
does
see
happen now? I don't remember.
the Hawkeye? Okay, Gabe, what happens after? You guys,
so
JP and
after-
Gabe are fresh off of just seeing it, so...
So after that happens, it's pretty much showing like
Iron Man and Nebula in space.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's pretty much sending a message to Pepper Potts on his mask, basically saying like they have one more day of air, and then it's gonna be done. That he pretty much tried everything he could. He thought he had one big last surprise, but it didn't happen. And then he ends the message by saying, "I think I'm gonna go to sleep now." Lays down. Nebula puts him on the chair, and he's kind of just sitting there. And at that moment, you think he's just dead. Like he's not moving. His eyes are closed. She leaves him, and then the Captain Marvel, his face starts getting like super bright, and he's like getting blinded. And Captain Marvel is actually in the front of the spaceship, and then she takes the spaceship down to the Avenger Tower or the Avenger compound.
Yeah, and during this, he has an infection from the fight with Thanos. He got hit in the side, or he had a big wound, and Nebula tried to. I don't want to say anything wrong here because JP will never let me live it down. Nebula tried to do what she could. She sewed him shut, but he still ended up getting an infection. So he was either going to die from the infection, he thought, or the lack of oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then we see Captain Marvel. She brings the ship down. They get to the Avengers Tower, and right off the bat, the blame game starts. Adrian, you remember that part?
Well, real quick though. So when they're in the spaceship, they made Iron Man look like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he looked
they
horrible.
took all his muscle away.
Yeah,
He was
Gosh,
super
yeah,
skinny.
He looked
Yeah.
super gross.
He did look gross.
So that was like kind of cool. But the only problem with that I have is how long were they in space? Did they ever specify how long they were
It's
in
like
space?
20 days.
Okay,
It's
so
a
it was
21
20
he went
days, yeah.
20 days in space, and he got that
It
skinny.
was due to the infection. That's why I think that's
okay.
why they made it a thing.
I was about to
be
say because
he
like
had
that went,
infection.
like that part was like
Yeah.
I was like he's dying
'Cause he-
Yeah, he
Well,
got
and they were
stabbed.
still eating and stuff the whole time.
Yeah,
so
he
it
had
wasn't
like
yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
food.
Because if you watch how that starts off, or how that timeline starts off, they leave the planet. She fixes his wound or whatever. She addresses his wound, and then they try to get the fuel cells working to jump. So right off the bat, he's already hurting.
Yeah.
So 21 days of sitting there with an infection, some kind of staph infection or something, it's gonna tear your
He
body
looks
apart.
god awful.
Yeah, he did look awful. But
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, but yeah, something like that would definitely tear your body apart. It'd be hard on you. And I mean, 21 days, you have nothing to treat it, nothing to ooze those wounds like this, and then nothing going on. So we get down there, and then the blame game starts happening. They get into the tower, they start talking, and instantly Iron Man is blaming Captain America.
Yeah, man. I mean, Iron Man had every right to, if you really think about it. I mean, where was? I mean, he didn't know where he was, but where was he, man?
He
You know
was
what I mean?
fighting Thanos.
He was fighting
Iron Man.
Thanos.
Iron Man
He was
didn't-
trying.
What do you? Yeah, but that was Iron Man wasn't there.
Well, and I think it kind of goes back to the whole Civil War thing, of course, where they're all fighting each other.
Yeah, they already
because-
have their like weird little beef, their like personal beef, which is nice because that like kind of keeps up with the comics. They've always had their like kind of back and forth, but I mean, I think Iron Man had every right to kind of be like, bro. I mean, the situation that he was in, like anybody else would have felt that way too.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the situation that Captain.
But I know,
America
but that's why I was
in.
saying he doesn't
So-
know, but still, because he doesn't know, that's why he said it.
But he's also still pretty messed up from the infection. His brain probably isn't working, 100% capacity. He's not feeling the best. So I mean, I honestly, if I was somebody, and like you said, you don't know what happened, but I'd blame Thor. Thor?
I wouldn't.
Nobody would blame Thor.
I wouldn't blame Thor.
I wouldn't
I'd
blame Thor.
too. Why don't you yomp his head right off?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't really know. Like, there's been never a movie, maybe besides John Wick, where he actually just kills the dude and doesn't like let him talk. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it made sense that they like allowed Thor to be like, I told you I was gonna kill
Yeah,
you
oh,
for
yeah.
that, and blah blah blah. So that
I mean,
made
Thor, he's
sense.
always been like that though. In all the movies, he's been
yeah.
like that.
But,
But,
I mean,
like-
all the other heroes kind of blame themselves. Iron Man was the only one outright blaming somebody else.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
I get what you're saying. Like, he did have every right because he even said like from the get go that they should have built like something around the world.
The suit
Yeah.
of armor.
Yeah, and
everywhere,
like
yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
which is
again,
what he
like,
wanted to start after that first invasion. He wanted to start building something like
Yeah.
that, and that's what started the whole thing. Is
And-
But
they
then
didn't want it.
his thing turned into Ultron, so that was the problem.
That's
Yeah.
true too.
So like he has huge blame also, like just to outright blame Captain America because that's supposed to be his partner and the leader. Like I
Right.
get that, but it's
Yeah.
also like he doesn't understand everything that happened. Also,
Plus,
That's
he like feels super good. I mean, a big part of it too is that he lost like Spider-Man. Spider-Man obviously is like this son that he's like never had. I mean, he brings it up. He says, "Oh, I lost a kid," So that was like a big part of the whole him feeling like crap.
yeah, but I mean, Captain America also tells him too that he lost everyone.
So let's welcome Ghostly Panda and Hooded EX Freak. Is that what that says? Hi,
Hooded
guys.
freak.
Hooded
How you guys doing? Anybody want to read what he said? I can't.
Yeah,
read that.
Hooded Freak says you always aim for where they are biggest. If he'd specifically aimed for the head, he had a much bigger chance of missing heat of the moment, you're always aiming for the body, and that's
true.
a very good point
Very
because
true. It's 2 to the chest.
Thanos' body, the way they made him is huge.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And then, like, especially Endgame, like when he grabs Nebula by the face, and we'll get to that later. His hand wraps all the way almost around her head.
Yeah.
So like but his head is like baby. It's almost like
he
Super
looks
Mario
like I was just about to say he looks like Bowser from the Super Mario movie.
Well, and the whole game plan for them too was taking the gauntlet away from him. It was never to kill Thanos.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they never really killed anybody. If you think about it. I mean, they killed weird aliens and stuff, but they really never killed anybody. So then we get to the next scene. Unless you guys have anything else to cover on that.
Nope.
Okay. The next scene, they get together. Iron Man is like, "No, I'm done. I don't want to do this." He starts freaking out. Starts a huge fight, I guess, between everybody. Hulk gives him a sedative. He passes out. They're trying to find Thanos. They're trying to find out where he was, where he went. Nebula knows where he is, and she's just showed up. Let's not forget, she showed up with Iron Man. So they've been hunting for him. They couldn't find him. They basically track the Infinity Stones being used again to this planet. Apparently,
Yes.
they were used twice.
So every single time that he stated what his plans were, she said, "Well, what are we doing after?" He always told her the same exact thing.
Yeah, go to that.
So
planet.
that's how she knew that he was going to be at that planet. And then continue.
I thought was one of the coolest scenes ever. Is he is just chilling, doing some
chilling.
gardening.
He did exactly
picking
what
up
he
some
said
fruit.
he was going to do.
Man. He is retired. Like this man.
He is retired.
He is on that retire. He hit 65 quick. He took his pension and he bounced because that's what he was doing.
They asked, or Dr. Strange asked him in Infinite War, like, what are you going to do when this is done? And he said, sit down and watch the sunrise. Like, literally. And at the end of Infinity War, that's literally what he sat down, had a little smirk on his face, and watched the sunrise, and then now he's just trying to live life.
So he's just chilling.
He's trying to make breakfast.
He's chilling, man.
What was left for him to do? He did what?
Yeah. And he didn't want it. It didn't seem like his plans were to kill everybody and destroy. Like his plans aren't that horrible if you think about it.
he just wants.
Everything is overpopulated.
He's not Caucasian. He was putting seasoning in his food.
And I wanted to get to this a little later. We'll get to it a little later. Let's get to it a little later. No, you're good. I want to get to it. So we get there, and then all of a sudden he's chilling. He's picking his fruit. He looks up, and he gets cold clogged by Captain Marvel. She puts him in a chokehold. We see that half of his body's all burnt up. He looks like a Rice Krispie that came out of the oven a little too late. On one half, the other half looks like Barney still. So,
well, hold on, wait. Did you state why they went to go get the stones?
yeah, because they wanted to reverse everything. I did not state that.
They tried to go after the stones.
They were going after the stones to see if they could grab them from Thanos and reverse everything. Sorry, I missed that. You were correct. So they were trying to reverse everything. That's why they were going after Thanos to see if they could get the stones.
Oh, there's James Love.
James?
What's up, James?
You like that seasoning joke? I know that's
So anyway, they grabbed the stone, or they're trying to grab the stones, and we found out that he doesn't have the stones. The last time that he used them was to destroy them. And that's why it almost killed him. Half his body's messed up. He ended up destroying the stone. So this is where I'm going to bring it up. And it's going to be a little late. If you don't know what happens, everybody vanishes. 50% of everything is gone. So that's what happens. Everybody, to me, and we're getting to more how they feel, seemed happier with that happening. Thanos seemed to everybody seemed like they were better off with that happening. Ooh. Should the Avengers have actually tried to go back and fix things?
I mean, I didn't really get that picture. I feel like everybody wanted to, they missed the people that they lost, and they all wanted to go back to that.
So the Hulk learned to control the Hulk side. Robert Downey Jr., or Iron Man, he started his family. Captain America was coping with the loss of Carter. He finally got over it. He was in some kind of group that looked like he was leading it. Black Widow, she was struggling, but she was still leading the Avengers.
This happened before we found out about Iron Man and his family. This scene.
And Carter died in an earlier movie.
Yeah,
she already died. She died in Civil War.
She died in Civil War.
So, and then also...
Well, she was old, though. She was like 80.
Yeah,
but I think the whole thing that they stressed throughout the movie was that their whole Avengers squad was a family. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't about their lives individually. It was about we lost our family and we need to try to get them back.
Well, I hit that point a little early too. We can come back to that after we hit more of this stuff. So anyway, back to where we're at. Captain Marvel shoots through the roof of Thanos's building. She puts him in a
crazy ass
farm
Hurricanrana.
I don't know, puts him in like a chokehold. She's like threatening, like he looks like this. Like, oh snap, yo,
dope.
man.
Yeah, she is dope. She's
Her
a dope
movie was
character.
dope. Like it was dope, and she's dope. I just feel like
sorry.
they made her so strong.
I can't stand her. I can't stand the actor. I can't stand her.
Larson's
I couldn't stand that
sick,
movie.
man. She's a good actress.
Well, you
Anyway.
don't like her? She's awesome.
Great. You cray.
So she's sitting there. They're asking about the stones. He says that he destroyed them. They think he's
used the
lying.
stones
Yeah,
to
he used the
destroy
stone to destroy the stones.
Right.
They think he's lying. Nebula's like, no, my father's a lot of things. He's not a liar. And then you get a touching Thanos movement.
Real quick though. So when they go into that house, so Captain Marvel grabs his neck. Mark Ruffalo grabs his arm with the gauntlet and the Hulkbuster suit. War Machine grabs the other arm, and then like everything's kind of happening, and then like all of a sudden Thor just comes in and just chops his arm off.
Dude, arm is gone.
Like right off the took the gauntlet like, straight out of his hand.
I was
right
like, wow, Disney.
that was crazy. Like that part was real.
Yeah.
And then that's when they come and they ask him about the stones, and then then the heartfelt moment going.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot about that part because that part was crazy. He yomped his arm off.
Real quick.
I do agree that I'm gonna go kill Thanos.
Yeah.
When Brie Larson, she's that's what I'm saying. She's dope.
She's dope.
I don't know what it is,
had it in
man.
her mind like I don't need y'all to help
Yeah.
me. Like,
We're just gonna go.
We're cover more of that later on in the movie, but she's useless. Anyway, so things start getting down. They find out that he destroyed the stones, and Thor said, "You know what? I'm done." Yomps his head off. That's the end of Thanos.
Yeah. Disney.
He is dead. His head's rolling on the ground next to his bucket and where he picked his nice little plums.
His blood squirted on.
Yeah.
Nebula's
I
face.
was like, whoa.
That was crazy. Yeah, like
I was shocked.
because like think about all these other moments. Like where did they show blood? Like besides it like just dripping down. From
Yeah, I mean you see it on their face here and there.
Yeah,
You never
but
see
like
it
you never saw
splatter.
like blood like splat.
Yeah.
Well, I think Marvel's kind of learning from what they did with Deadpool, and they're trying to push the limits on these movies, which I think is great because the more and more they push the limits, I think it's going to be better for the movies storytelling wise. So
I mean, it was a shocking. Again, I mean, this is still towards like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is the very beginning. Like they kill Thanos,
And again, no one I didn't
the first
think.
third.
Yeah, I didn't think. Once that happened, I think it fades to black, right?
Yeah.
I
And it
was
starts
like-
it says the Avengers.
Yeah, I
told
like,
my wife, I
whoa.
was like, all right, the movie's over. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
that
game.
was like super surprising.
So yeah, because that's when
that's when it faded to black, and then you get the good old SpongeBob SquarePants 2 hours later montage.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, seriously.
It's the best. So yeah,
because it had like two intros to the movie. So like
Yeah.
after Hawkeye dies, that's when it does the normal Marvel. Yeah, they probably could have just done both at one time, but I guess the severity of the scene of Thanos dying was like a good break to then do 5 years ahead.
Yeah, and this is where I think we can touch more about that, more base about the thing. So 5 years ahead, does anybody want to touch base on what happens about that 5 years ahead? Nobody?
Pretty much Cap is sitting down in a support group for just regular people trying to
Helping
tell them
the
to get
people.
better, like, make their lives go forward. Black Widow is still kind of being in charge of having the people who are still alive, like the heroes, still take care of like tragedies and stuff like that happening around the world,
Right.
and all that good
And
stuff.
apparently, Captain Marvel's hair was the most unforgivable part of this movie, according to James Love.
What, you mean her short hair?
She had that. She had that. Can I speak to your manager haircut? I'm here to speak to your manager.
Oh, I agree.
Wow, man, she looked good with the short hair.
She
I
did.
thought.
She looks good regardless, but
Yeah.
it was like so weird that she had long hair, and then all of a sudden it was
yeah,
just
it's
like,
gone.
And I
was
don't know
5
if you
years
guys
later.
want to talk about this now or later, but the whole thing is apparently she wants to make her character a lesbian for the universe.
Oh God, that can be later.
I remember hearing that they wanted that and Valkyrie to be
apparently
together.
Brie Larson is like the one pushing for it though. So
We can. touch on that.
Interesting.
Regardless of that, her hair was fine long. She had to cut her hair.
Before we got Captain America, he's doing support groups. Black Widow's trying to lead. Then all of a sudden, what happens with Ant-Man, Gabe?
So if
This
That part,
This part was stupid.
I agree. Go ahead.
well,
You-
the greatest hero of the movie is about to happen if we're talking about the Ant-Man part.
Really? Go ahead. No, go ahead. Because we'll get into it after you tell
us what happens.
But this part is stupid to me. I wanted to bring this up, but you go ahead and like say what happened first.
Okay, so if you watched our Ant-Man review for the second one, okay, he gets stuck in the quantum realm,
right?
And he is like now everybody's stuff is in storage, whatever. So the truck is in storage. He ends up. Okay, the way he gets out of the quantum realm is a mouse.
The greatest superhero.
Yeah.
If that mouse didn't do it, then this movie would. There's no point in having this movie.
Okay, so real quick. So I just want to because that was like the talk. As soon as Ant-Man 2 was done, and then Infinity Wars was done, it was, oh my God, how are they going to get Ant-Man out? There's this theory, there's that theory. Oh, this could happen. Oh, that could happen. And that was the route.
Luck. Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, I don't know. I just thought.
That's a very good point, Nicole. She said that I'm sure the rat releasing Ant-Man was
a
14
million.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I was like, come on, man. That was like, as soon as, because it happened so fast. Like, they're showing all the carnage. The mouse hits the thing, and he just gets out, and then that was it. And I was like, wait, what?
Well, I guess like what bothered me the most was like he didn't need a mouse to get out of the quantum realm the first time, right?
He needed somebody on the other end of the
pull him out. Somebody had to pull him out.
So like, I don't know.
Something had to.
They could have probably even like just literally had what's that dude, Dr. Kim?
Ken Jeong.
Yeah. They could have just had him go and be like, what's this?
I mean, anything but that.
Dude, that was funny. He was in the...
Anything.
He didn't say one word. He was
he's just... Well, he was supposed to apparently be Howard the Duck's voice.
What? Really?
But they gave him the cameo instead because they took all of Howard the Duck's big parts out of the movie. What? He's got a really small cameo in the movie.
I didn't even hear about that.
I didn't know that either. That's interesting.
But yeah, apparently he was supposed to voice him, and so they gave him... He has the cameo.
I would have rather had that.
Yeah, I would have actually rather have that. But, so, okay. So he comes out after he made his point. He comes out, and you know what's funny is I never really even realized that, actually, like how big of a deal that was.
Yeah,
so the first time I watched it.
Did we all forget all the theories we were all coming up with?
So it's funny because technically the van's in impound, right? It looks like it's impound, it's locked away. Yeah. When they go through impound, they take inventory of everything that's in your vehicle. So nobody would have ever touched that thing. And it was literally like 2 switches. Nobody would have ever
messed with that thing. It was just, that was weird.
And then why is there a guard there? 50% of the nation, 50% of the world's gone. Like, who's going to...
I mean, there's still people there.
There's still people.
What are you guarding?
Like, you got to imagine people are probably, like, looting and shit like that. Like, you got to, like... So, anyway,
moving on.
That's
Super Mouse.
Super Mouse.
I'm gonna say since they're part of Disney,
Dickie.
Disney, that's Mickey Mouse.
Dickie Land.
Okay, Mickey Mouse.
We got another viewer. Thank you for joining. Also, real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off one more time. Okay. Also, real quick, everybody who's watching this, if you guys could share on your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, tell everybody we're going live, try to get us more views and more subscribers. That'd be greatly appreciated. Heart, send it out to you. Love you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna be on here.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while, so.
So buckle up. More Lilo action.
That's our star. She's gonna let us out of the quantum realm. Watch.
So Ant-Man gets out. He's walking in the streets. There's a kid.
That rude ass kid.
There's a kid. He's on a bike, and he asks him what happened. The kid just looks at him like, and then just bounces.
Stupid.
I would have threw a rock at that kid, but. So then he goes. He pretty much figures it out.
Yeah.
And they have like a memorial area where they have all the people's names of who were gone. So he's instantly looking for his daughter, and then he ends up seeing his name.
Yeah.
So then he freaks out, goes to his the wife's house, his ex-wife's house.
Another sad moment.
Yeah, and he knocks on the door, and then there's this like girl there, and then it's his daughter.
Right.
Okay.
She's like 100 years old.
But I was about to say.
Yeah, she went from being like a little girl. To
like 25.
Yeah. Well, she was 11. She was 11. Apparently, everybody said she was 10 or 11 in the Ant-Man movie, and now she's about 15, 16. So she's supposed to be a teenager.
She looks so much older.
I know, it was kind of weird.
But yeah, so he gets to see her. He's crying. Yeah.
That part was sad, man.
That part was nice. So here's the thing that kind of bugs me about that part. Also, he goes straight to, and I get it's your daughter, but he doesn't look for the wasp. He doesn't look for the doctor. He doesn't look for anybody else but his name and her name.
No, bro, I would have went straight to my daughter.
But the Wasp is your love interest. You want to even see if your love interest made it? Okay, let's say you go to see your daughter first. All right, there's my... Okay, she's not up here. Oh, hey, who else is up here? You just don't want to check to see if your love interest is up here?
Well, I think what initially freaked him out was that he was looking for his daughter's name, did see it, but saw his own name.
Okay.
So I think once he saw his own name, he was like, wait, what? And then that's when he went to go to his daughter. I would go to my daughter right away. You know, like, so I get what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying he didn't even look at the other names. That's what bothered me. Like, I would have saw my daughter's, okay, she's apparently alive. Maybe the other people are alive too. But yeah, I'd go to my daughter first. Sure, yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of gray area there. Who knows if the daughter told, like, they're gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of gray area right there. But
you can't cram it all into, I guess, one movie. I guess 3 hours. You can't cram it all.
3 hours.
3 hours. So then I guess after that, it goes back to Black Widow and Captain America.
And she's a peanut butter junkie.
And I'm sorry, but that sandwich, we went and saw that movie today. And I told JP when that part came on, now I want a peanut butter.
I was hungry.
Well, you were also questioning the breakfast they were having about that too. So those eggs and those sausage burritos.
Oh yeah, okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it was whole sausage links. Okay, so they're talking to each other, saying, you know, like, maybe you don't need to be doing this anymore because she's all sad and she's like, who's gonna do this if I don't? Captain America's like, maybe you don't need to do this anymore. And then all of a sudden a video pops up and it's Ant-Man at their door.
Right.
And of course everybody's seen that in the trailer. They're like, you know, when was this? And she's like, that's the front gate right now. So then they're like, oh my God, like, let him in. And then he then explains pretty much everything, kind of, of how they're going to get the stones back.
Which he thinks it could work like.
Yeah. And basically it's using the quantum realm to go to a certain point in time and coming back at a certain point in time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
now his first idea was to destroy the stones, not get them. He said that he wanted to destroy all the stones.
Yeah, because they wanted to go back before Thanos was even like a thing.
Yeah.
Before he was a baby and
he could have been Lord Voldemort, or what's his name? Lord Voldemort under a bed, bloody.
Yeah, just.
Okay, so after that, then they're like, okay, well, who knows how to deal with that? And of course, you go to the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Downey Jr.
Iron Man.
And then introduces Morgan, his daughter.
Yeah. Adorable little child.
5-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And his wife, Pepper Potts.
It doesn't show right off the bat, though.
But he's making the helmet for her and says, that's for mommy. How'd you get that? So, I mean, it's there.
Wait, the way you say, you hating on the fact you had a daughter?
No.
When he was married?
No, but I was going to bring up my point once we get to the Hulk and everything with the Hulk, because I'm going to bring up my final point.
Okay, so then basically in this scene, all they do is they're giving Tony Stark the idea of using the quantum realm and what he knows about it to get back into time. The funny part is he calls it a time heist.
Yeah. Time heist.
Yeah, and then like, and then he goes, he's like, I think it'll be fine as long as we don't touch anything or mess with our past people.
Yeah.
Talk to
and he's like,
ourselves
did
or
you
anything.
just reference Back to the Future to me? He's like, no. And he's like, okay, I thought that's what you were doing.
Well, it's funny because they all say they're going to the quantum realm, and nobody once, maybe once later on in the movie, said that maybe we should call it a quantum leap.
Dang.
True.
Yeah. And that's where we lost all our viewers right there.
Yeah.
Our view count just went.
Sorry, Man's pretty much like, heck no. I'm not
that's
doing
pretty much
this.
it.
I got a family now. I'm good to go. I don't need to get involved. Like, it's over.
Yeah, he's
we
like,
failed.
this is it. We failed. This is
Yeah.
it. We have half the world. This is what we have to do.
Get over with it, move on, deal with it.
I moved on. I got a family to take care of now.
So, JP, where do they go after that? After they leave Iron Man's house, and he's like, now, Felicia!
Well, we didn't cover Thor yet and what happened to him coming back.
We don't see Thor till after the Hulk, I thought. I thought they went the Hulk first, didn't they?
Yeah, you don't see Thor
Okay,
until they're assembling.
So then the next one would be Hulk.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
that
so-
would be first.
I believe so. I might be wrong.
So
No, it is because they're trying to
it's
figure out
Hulk and-
time travel
that's
first.
right. Yeah.
And then they're
so
they're
then they
trying
go to
get-
Banner afterwards.
Yeah.
And then we find out that, you know, you go down, they're sitting down to breakfast. We kind of talked about this, and it's Ant-Man, Captain America, Black Widow, and Hulk. But he's himself Hulk, but he's still talking
it was
like
so
he's
weird.
Bruce Banner. So it's kind of like there's that old cartoon where he was still himself Bruce Banner as Hulk. It was just like that, the old cartoon. And basically, he explains that in the last 5 years, previously, he had always seen Hulk as the disease, and he had to get rid of Hulk. But then he started afterwards, after they lost to Thanos, he started thinking, well, maybe Hulk's the cure. So he let Hulk into him more, I guess, or whatever. So they kind of came together a bit more. So now he's able to control Hulk fully and still be in Bruce Banner.
Yeah, he started using more gamma radiation to make himself.
Which I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah, I thought that was silly.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that was stupid.
Well,
so if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. But wasn't he like that in the Planet Hulk series? Because he stayed the Hulk the whole time, but he still had the knowledge of Bruce Banner during the Planet Hulk series.
Well, but he acted more like Hulk still.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
And that I didn't really bother me too much, except for something that Gabe had brought up in a previous conversation we've had, which is they said they didn't want to do a Planet Hulk, which is one of my favorite storylines, because they don't want to have a whole movie with him being CG. Well, he was CG this entire movie, except for like a few minutes, which we'll get to later. But like literally, he was only Bruce Banner for like a minute.
He was like small and slim.
Mm-hmm.
I think what bothered the most out of me with the character is that Hulk is a huge character.
Yeah.
Like, he's a big character, and they never gave him his own movie after the Edward Norton movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that was annoying as already. Like, you have, like, you're going to do a Black Widow movie, but you're not going to give Hulk his own, like, Mark Ruffalo his own Hulk movie.
And Planet Hulk is
Planet Hulk
would
have been amazing. Yeah, Planet Hulk would have been.
It's a good story, but especially how it ends.
And I mean, they kind of touch on it with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, a
but
little bit.
Not nearly to what it should have been.
No, there's no way.
And this goes to our conversation about him having full burrito with full sausages.
Sausage.
So, like, when he's, like, telling him, like, hey, have some breakfast, blah, 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 blah. If you look on the plate in front of him, there is a tortilla. It has huge sausage links wrapped.
Yeah, they
in
were
the
sticking
tortilla.
out of that. They're big.
Yeah, and, like, it was funny because, like, we're watching it, and I look at JP, I'm like, you see those huge ass sausages? Like, it's like, but, and then the part where they're trying to take pictures with the kid Ant-Man's like, you want to take a picture with me? I'm Ant-Man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it goes on for like 10 minutes of them just like, no.
Yeah,
He's
like some of the movies.
He's like, take the goddamn phone.
Some of the parts they choose to drag out in this movie don't make sense. Like, that's a small complaint, but like they really didn't need to drag out that part when there's other things they could have focused on.
Yeah.
They did drag that part. Like, a lot of the parts with the Hulk kind of,
It's like they didn't have anything for him really, but they had things for him. It makes sense. Like they didn't have word parts for him.
Oh yeah.
But they had action parts, so they were like, "Oh, let's throw this in there so he can have more."
They didn't even really have that much action parts.
No, because he didn't
that
really
I can
fight.
remember. Yeah, he didn't really do much.
Everybody was like,
We'll get into that.
he's
He
going to get
gets-
his rematch. And
He gets
everything.
disabled before the big fight, so that's
which we'll get. Yeah, we'll get into
sure.
that too. But anyway, so then they get together. The Hulk's willing to try it. He's willing to try it, and then if you want to keep going, touch base on what happens then.
Because he's not 100% sure on how.
Yeah, they
but
go
he's
back
just
and-
willing to try.
But yeah, so
Excuse
then
me.
the next part is they go back to the Avengers compound and they do kind of try it with Scott Lang. They hook up the van and they kind of try and see what they can do. And so he's standing in front of the van. Hulk's got this whole setup with the computers. He starts flipping the switches, and so they're gonna give it a test run to see if they can go through time. And they end up turning
That part was
Scott
funny.
Lang into
a
a
teenager
child.
first.
A teenager
Yeah,
first.
then an old man.
And then an old man, and then a
a
baby, and then he finally comes back to himself.
And pees his pants.
Yep, but he doesn't know which version of him.
Someone peed my pants.
Oh, hold on. We forgot a real big thing before that.
Sausage
scene.
links.
And before that scene happens, Iron Man
Oh, yeah.
does a simulation
Ah, yeah.
of time travel,
Yeah,
and he completes it in one night.
It's like,
but it's
one-
happening like at the same time this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one night.
Yeah, he figures it out really fast.
Well, here's the man, the myth, the legend, smartest
One night.
man ever.
Yeah.
He created time travel in one night.
Again, they're trying to fit. So I get you're trying to fit, but to your point,
Well,
you
the-
could have cut some of the like parts you've drawn
Exactly.
out, and I said to have do like the little montage of Iron Man trying to figure it out.
We need a montage.
Just like anything to make it seem like he was really trying to figure it out.
Well, see, the thing is,
it happened so fast.
The thing is, and I think they never touch base on it, but I think he knows how to do it. He's played with it before, but he never had the proper context of it until they brought up the quantum realm. And then once the quantum realm was brought up, he's like, oh crap, this could work because I could use the quantum realm to go from where I need to go. I think that's what finally clicked in his mind. I was like, oh wait, that is a thing. The quantum realm is finally a thing. We discovered that. I can use that to do the time travel. I think that's what finally clicked, is them having the quantum realm ready to go.
Right.
I think that's what happens.
It still should have shown him like
It should have made a little time. Yeah, it should have took 10 seconds off that.
Because it happened so fast. Like, he did his thing, and then it was like, boom, was like, oh, I got it. And then when he tells Potts, like, hey, I figured it out.
Yeah, he's like, I did it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, okay.
So I could just throw it at the bottom of the sea, but
yeah.
I created time travel, so I could use it whenever I want.
Yeah, so, of course, Potts...
and then, do we want to talk about the most famous quote of the movie? Because that happened during that part, too.
That's not even a big quote.
God, why are you such a hater?
It's not.
What quote is it?
I mean, I thought it was kind of silly,
Just
too. It's very cheesy.
It is, but it's adorable.
Well, he's saying goodnight to his daughter.
Oh, that I love that.
Thank you.
It's super cheesy.
Yeah. She's a child.
But
She's a child.
she tells him that he loves her 3,000.
Yeah. That part
He says, I love you tons, and she goes, I love you 3,000. She's a 5-year-old child. It's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay? She's being cute.
Gabe was being a hater,
Me
man.
and Bella do that all the time.
Oh, so that means
So
it's
it's
not
not
cute?
cute?
I thought because you do it.
It's not. But like the fact that everybody's dwelling on this 3,000 thing is annoying because it's not even that big of a deal. It's not. I'm sorry.
Hooded Freak says Hulk was the second worst part of the movie. He was
Downgraded to
just above useless, sadly.
That's true.
That's
Totally
agree.
But brings it up, cope with it, so he became weaker.
Being a sissy.
That's kind of what they're playing off. Is he's being a sissy.
They made Hulk
because the
look
Hulk
weak.
never loses, but he lost. Now he's no idea how to cope with it.
Yeah,
so.
they made Hulk extreme.
So anyway, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, he gets to the Avengers Tower, and he's making fun of Ant-Man because he already knows what happened. Turned into a baby, turned into an old man, and he says that he figured it out, and he sets down some ground rules. He said that nothing can change.
We can't lose what we've gained.
We can't lose what
during
we
the 5
gained.
years.
And right there, they've already gone 5 years. And I'm sorry, after 5 years, I'm pretty sure you can cope with the loss of somebody. I know it's hard. I know it's the hardest thing ever. I haven't personally lost anybody. But 5 years, they've already coped. Like I said, Bruce Banner's better off. He's the Hulk. He's learned to control himself. Iron Man's better off. He's got his family going. Captain America even brings up Captain America brings up a good point. There's no more pollution in the water. You can see clear. The animals seem happier. The ecosystem is thriving. Black Widow's got the Avengers going, so they're still doing their job. Sherry or whatever her name is, the one
Shuri.
Sherry, yeah, she's running Wakanda. Wakanda seems fine.
It wasn't Shuri. It was the other one.
The one that Michonne plays.
Michonne played. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember her name.
I always forget her name too.
I can't think. If
But
you guys know her
Shuri's
name,
the little sister.
Shuri's
She's-
the-
yeah.
You are correct. Sorry, yeah, Shuri's the list. But anyway, she's running Wakanda. It looks fine. So that brings up changed. By now, you should be able to cope with loss, and right now, you still want to go back to fix everything, and you're not even sure that you can go back to fix everything. Do you feel like they might have been trying to do more harm than good?
No, because even with Iron Man setting up the rules, all they wanted to do was bring back all of the people they lost.
Yeah.
But what if that wasn't? And he even says, what if it's not a possibility? But they still